Of the Atlantis crew, and here you see me, the one with the longer hair, and Swanee doing a hand controller calibration to get the arm ready to view the solar array deployment that we did today.
As you know, our big task for today was to deploy the 2 arrays that we've just attached to the station up here, and so here you see the crew. We had everybody involved in this task, watching mechanisms on the blanket boxes and on the array themselves during the deploy. Here you see Swanee in the background, me in the foreground, JR, there's CJ, and here's the whole crew all together as we were doing our deploy on 1A and 3A. And our first task was to get it out to about 15.5 days out of 31.5 days, and then it would break out for a while, and then we deployed it the rest of the way out to 100%. And as you'll see here in a minute, we had a flawless deploy. The guys that did the work on these solar arrays obviously did a great job. And here you have a view of the array itself as it's being deployed. In the background, you can see that everything's going out very smoothly, and everything worked just as we expected it to. And we ended up with 2 brand new solar arrays to provide more power for the International Space Station. And here you see the 3A array just as we're starting to deploy, and you see the sunrise in the background there. And here's the beginning of the deploy as it starts on its way out.
As you know, we're getting ready to have our EVA number 2 tomorrow, and Swanee and Pat are in the airlock along with Clay Anderson getting the EMUs configured right, getting all set up to do the EVA. One of the things we brought up for the station crew on the shuttle was some fresh apples, and here I am giving some for Fyodor, and Oleg, you can see how surprised and happy he was. He said this was some of his favorite food.
And the next task at hand was to reposition both the shuttle and the station arm so we get some good views on the solar array. In this case, myself and Brew are in the process of maneuvering the space shuttle robotic arm over from the starboard side over to the port side to support the EVA tomorrow and the solar array retract.
Here's JR doing some more transfer activities this afternoon. That was a large day this afternoon for JR and some of his crewmates. And here myself and Ola Kotov are doing a little some more robotic activity. This is in conjunction with the activity that Daniel Levis was doing earlier on the shuttle arm. In preparation for tomorrow's spacewalk by Pat Forrester and Steve Swanson, the ground team will be moving the mobile base system overnight. But before they do that, we had to reconfigure the space station robotic arm and put it in a proper configuration for movement of that mobile base station. And here's Swanee working out. We get a little bit of exercise every day to keep ourselves in shape, and we've got the ergometer on the mid-deck, and there you see Swanee working out. And here's Pat and Swanee in the equipment lock getting their suits ready just prior to them starting their pre-breathe and overnight camp out. And those guys are in the airlock tonight as we speak, and they're getting ready for their EVA tomorrow.
Okay, we're all suited up, and Sonny is helping put us in the airlock, and Danny, that's Swanee that they're putting in there right now. Once we're in there, they'll close the hatch and depress it, and it'll be time to go to work. While we were doing that, Brew Archambault was moving the space station robotic arm into a position that I could then do some final commands to have the opportunity to install an APFR, a foot restraint, where a crew member stands, and then I would climb into that foot restraint. So the time arrived, and it was just getting dark as we were coming out of the hatch. That's me coming out first. I'll come out and set up a few tethers and receive some tools from Steve Swanson, and then he'll come out right after me. And then while these guys are outside, I was doing the IV task, repeating the job that Pat did for us on EVA-1 from the inside, and a couple of tools that we have in the background, a video, and of course a view of them directly. The other things that we had going are their wireless video systems on top of their helmets, which gives us a great eye-in-the-sky view of what these guys are doing. Okay, at this time we got Pat on the arm. He just ingressed the APFR, and I'm just starting to move him away. Pat initially gives me commands how to get in proper position, but then I'll manually maneuver him to a position where we then command another automated procedure to put him in a position to view the solar array wings.
And then Pat, when he first got to the solar array, he had to cut a leader off that was loose, it had a spring on it. He cut that off and put it in his trash bag. Looks like surgeon's tools there. And then he cut it. We were all very happy with that moment. One problem solved. A few more to come.
We had a great view out the PLT windows. We were clearing the arm for Brew and Oleg while they were flying Pat around up there. And actually, Sonny was up and assist there. And great arm flying by Brew and Sonny today. Now you can see Swanee still hanging out there on the mass canister and also giving good clearance calls.
There you can see some of the camera views that we, Sonny and myself, used to provide clearance for Pat as we maneuver around. In addition to those clearance views, we got some real good clearance views from the commander and JR in the shuttle out the pilot window and the forward window, so that helped speed things along, being able to get clearance from those guys.
You can see in this particular view the solar arrays being brought in while we've got the two EVA crew members out there assisting with the retraction. The solar array was brought in, one segment at a time, and then we would stop and pause and verify that we had good clearance to continue to move it further on in. Once that was complete, now they had to go and get to work. And that's myself, Steve Swanson, coming out right there to work on the Sarge. First task we had to do was the Sarge braces, and then we moved into the launch locks.
After we had completed the EVA, all that we were going to do today, it was time to come back in the hatch. They bring us back in, and we'll repress the hatch. And they're sitting right there, waiting for the pressure to come up, and once it does, she'll open that. They'll go in there and bring us in and get us out of our suits. And couldn't be done without the support of the IVs. There's Danny. He was the lead IV today as far as our suit up and getting us out the door and back in.
All in all, a really great day. These guys worked really, really hard and did a tremendous job. Meavy, they came in and were hungry from a hard day's work, and we took care of their suits, and they went back to the shuttle to go have something to eat and get ready for bed.
Okay, Houston, here's the morning of Flight Day 7, and you can see JR is getting the EVA repair information out of the printer. I hopped on the bike during the post-sleep time frame, got a little exercise in. It's good to do this, and then you can get cleaned up and you're all set for the day. Brew is doing some routine maintenance activities in the WCS, and of course, we have to maintain the entire shuttle and do what the scheduled activities are. So he got that all taken care of. Danny is managing some of the videotapes for Photo TV. You can see them floating. It's a big organizational job, and he's doing a great job at it. Okay, the first thing we did was the solar array retract. I did this with Sonny Williams. Here she's setting up the computer on the aft flight deck. She is the one sending the commands today to retract the solar array and then making the calls on the big loop to abort it. I'm looking out the windows with the binoculars. See, we got a camera set up, and we're all communicating on several loops here to make sure this went smoothly. Here you'll see some of the motion. We retracted one bay at a time. The first couple of attempts were very successful. We had a good snapback, which you may be able to see. A whole wave kind of went up the arrays and popped everything loose, and then we ran into a little holdup where we had a little guide wire